Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a Zach coaching session. It's patch 10.3. So if you like a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. We can set that up, or just come talk to me during the stream. We stream every night starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually go till about 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's just $25 for non-members, $20 for members. Usually we do replay coaching like this, where you just send me a replay. That way you get full control over the game that I'm seeing. So you get to, make sure you get the champion that you want, and that it's going to be a quality game. That is going to have the kinds of situations that you want commentary on. Or we can do a live coaching session, just like a screen capture via Discord. And that you kind of get the live commentary as it's happening, which can be cool, but at the same time it's a little riskier just because you can't really be certain about what the quality of the game, right? So, if you donate for a live coaching session and then in that game we get into a game, and top laner goes 0-5 in the first 5 minutes and AFKs, that unfortunately would have to count as one of your games, or at least something, maybe like a little bit extra or something to do another game. So I haven't quite worked all that out yet, but if people want more of the live coaching, we can try to make that work, but it can't be the same price and be play until you get a quality game. Unfortunately, it just takes too much time. Anyways, okay. Starting off red, then the golems. Now, as I explained in another video, I'm not a Zac expert. I'm not a jungle expert. I'm a support mate. Okay, so Sammy is well aware of this. And, he just wants to donate to help the channel. And, I can still make some good commentary about ganks and pathing and stuff a little bit, but I'm not like a challenger jungler. So just understand that. Wybron asks, can I coach top laners? I can coach anything you want me to coach, as long as you understand sort of my limitations as a coach. Like, I will know some matchups sort of well, other matchups I won't know in super great detail. It just really depends. Like, if you're a diamond player, top laner, would it be a good idea to have me, like, coach that? Maybe not, right? Because I don't play top lot. But if you're like a silver top laner or something, I think there is still a lot of stuff I could teach in terms of macro and trading and rotations and stuff like that that can still be useful, even if I don't, 100% know the ins and outs of every matchup in the top lane. But this is the same thing with most coaches, right? Like, most coaches specialize in a certain role and they still coach in roles. So yeah, I could do that if you're interested in that. Yeah, I think that's the optimal pathing right now. Red to golems to blue. Now, as we talked about in the last video, though, I would highly prioritize this scuttle over this gank. I'd get scuttle first, unless this is a guaranteed thing. Okay, nice. Now, it's difficult mechanically, but some next level stuff you can do is if you can predict where they're going to flash, you can flash with your E and still hit them. I'd go get the scuttle, but yeah, they're actually taking the scuttle from you here. So you got the flash, but you're going to be behind on farm. I would at least get the Grom if you can clear it. I think you're going to be pretty far behind. We'll see.
Double kill.
Yeah, I would have taken scuttle first and then gone for that gank. If you wanted to do that. Or consider, at least get the Gromp on the way out. Yeah, now you're down like 20 CS and probably like 2 levels, 1 level on Warwick. Yeah, you really want to highly prioritize, like, you need to gank. It is a gank-heavy meta, but you also need farm. Like, right now, I would just do Raptors, Wolves, Gromp, and then re-gank top. Yeah, I mean, right here, if you can get a good hit on, maybe a little bit more for the Ashe. Okay, nice. That was a good setup there. Yeah, you can do this. You have to double kill. Be careful with Warwick. He's probably going to be a higher level than you. There he is. This is a little dangerous. And y'all are like, you're going to be pretty low off of this. I don't know. This is pretty dangerous. I mean, it is. They do have 2 people that are dead, so it ended up working out. There's a fruit right there too, honey fruit. Nah, I'd leave that alone. I'll leave it alone. And just do raptors and then red. Raptors, red, and then rotate top and get those 2 camps. No, 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 no. I just think it's a huge waste of time. I mean, a couple of these things have worked out, you know. But they're just really dangerous. No, Leona needs... Don't do it, Leona. Oh, that's 1,000 gold shutdown. Raptors. 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 Like, you have to do these camps. Just like #1 priority, especially when you're kind of learning jungle, is get your camps. Even on a gank heavy, you know, champion, like I was saying. Like, you need to think of optimal pathing. Like, that needs to, and then red and then golems right now. And then you need to go top and get, like, wolves, gromp, repeat gank. Because Senna didn't pay a price for that. Now, obviously, you made a lot of good stuff happen there. In the sense of you got dragon, you contributed to a double kill bottom, so all of that was really good. But there's a lot of, like, you know, like you said, you're learning jungle, so it's understandable that there's going to be some stuff here that you're trying to optimize. Yeah, just do scuttle and then just clear your top side of the jungle and back. So there's going to be a lot of stuff you can optimize, but you need to always be thinking, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And then you farm everything, like, on the way. Unless it's, like, code red, like they're about to take a major objective or something. It needs to be, like, you farm on your way there, and then while you're waiting on the camps, then you go for a gank. So, like, for example there, you know, you could have just cleared out your red side, back, bought some stuff, and then gone wolves to top side. But you need to kind of get into a rhythm with the camps and your ganks. To where the camps are spawning, like, right when you want to re-gank. Yeah, with Zac, you can do kind of a cute little thing, too, where you can farm Gromp and Blue at the same time. I think that's a little too nice for the Lux. I wouldn't have given her that blue. Wait, did you got it anyways? No, she got it. Okay, so come down here, do, I would just start at golems. Just go golems, red, raptors, wolves, Gromp. I don't think you've taken Gromp all game, right? Unless I'm misremembering it. And, that's like the most valuable camp, I think. Golems might be close to it, but it's extremely valuable. The reason I wouldn't give her that blue is because you're behind in levels, and you're really, really far behind in farm. And she's underperforming, right? Like, she's down 20 CS. I don't know, like, it's a nice offering, but Raptors. Like, I would have just started golems and then just work your way up. Like, just think of every step matters. You know, like, every step in the jungle needs to be an optimal step. You know, you don't have to go, like, super extreme with that unless you're, like, a challenger level jungler, but, like, you want to be thinking every second that your camp sits there is gold that you're losing. pretty much. So you're paying a price to sit here and gank. So if you think there's going to be a really high level like chance you can get multiple kills, which there might be here, because your Kai'Sa is super fed, then that does work out like that. But I still think you could have done those camps and then rotated over. At least have done one more of those camps. But there will be other games where you don't have a bot laner that's got 12 kills, you know, where it could be a mistake to try that. Okay. Well, I mean, that's okay. Sammy says it's a custom game and they're just playing for the fun. I mean, that's true, but you also, like, send it in as coaching, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm just trying to give you the best advice that I can. You know, if it's not a competitive game, if it's just for fun, you know, okay. But I'm just trying to, like, assume that you are wanting, you know, advice on how to improve if you want to take it in a rank. So I'll just give you all the information that I can to try to help you, and you can decide whether or not, you know, you think it's valuable or, you know, you think it fits the kind of game that you want to play, and that's fine. Yeah, I would just be farming this a lot more. I would just be farming like golems, raptors right now. There's a lot of time just kind of like moving between objectives and sort of waiting where you could be sneaking in some farm. Yeah, you can probably clean it up for Kai'Sa. Alright, yeah, just grab dragon, then go take bottom tower. I'll get some control wards here too, and just, you always want to keep a control ward on the map. Like, you can even put it in kind of sneaky places where they're unlikely to look a lot of times. So like this bush right here is pretty common, or you can put it over here if you don't want to buy a bunch of control wards. You can just at least put one in one of those like weird spots, or like right here, enemy jungle. Like there's a few spots that people just rarely look into. Yeah, just farm all this up over here. Farm, 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 farm. No, just go farm. Just go farm. Just farm, man. Just go farm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the the biggest thing is just you just gotta put your head down and farm. It's like 43 CS at like 16 minutes is rough. I mean, Warwick's not even pressuring you that much. Like he's not even taking your farm. So yeah, just have it in your mind. Just think like, and I know that like when you're not a jungler, a lot of times, and once again, I'm not a challenger jungler. But, like, when you're not a jungler, like, the thing that people think of most with jungles are, like, the really good ganks and, like, the hard camping and all of that. But, like, if you watch, like, the really, like, top-end junglers, they are on point with their pathing and their farming. Like, they're ganking a lot, but they're also farming a lot. And a lot of them, you know, they will say that farming is going to be one of the most important things because it's guaranteed, right? Like, that doesn't mean that you, like, AFK, you know, Master Yi farm for 20 minutes. But it just means that farm is guaranteed money. So you really just want to farm after your camps are down, basically. At least the camps on one side of the map that you intend to gank on. So for example, before you try this gank, it was a successful gank, but before you try it, just grab Wolves and Gromp and then go up there. And then after you get their flash or after you get the kill here, you back and then you go and you clear the camps on the bottom side and then you go for a gank either bottom or top while you're waiting on your top to spawn. Then after you make a play there, you back and then you go, you know, clear your top again once that spawns, make another play top or middle. So you just kind of get into that rhythm where you clear one side, gank, clear the other side, gank, and just keep going and keep doing that. So that way you're being pretty efficient with your farm, but you're also getting like opportunities for ganks. You know, you'll have like maybe 15 to 30 seconds to look for a good gank on those lanes. And you want to be thinking about, like, you know, who has flashes, who's easy to gank, and things like that when you're planning all this kind of stuff out. But that's kind of just in general. You just, you know, when you're in your base, you want to think about, okay, where's the most likely place I can gank, where there's also farm in the jungle. When you go on that side, you grab the farm, then you go for the gank. Like I said, unless it's like a really rare opportunity. Then you can kind of call an audible and gank while your farm is still there, but it should be very rare. You'll see a lot of, I remember who was it, I don't remember who it was, some top end jungler I was looking at before. It's just like, if he's doing his golems, he's not leaving golems no matter what. Most of the time, if it's bot side, and like they get ganked while he's doing his golems before it's done, he basically says they can screw off, I'm finishing my golems before I go. Like, that was one of his #1 tips, is always finish your camp before you go gank. I don't know if I would go that extreme, but I would at least, in most situations, prioritize getting that farm on that side of the map. It's a Senna bot lane. Someone's asking about Senna top, unless you're saying why was Senna top for that one play. I mean, your ganks are pretty solid. You just gotta have the, you just gotta have that farm.
Dominating.
Because like right now, because you're so far back on that farm, you're actually below the support in terms of levels. And like I said, sometimes that can happen if you get either invaded out of your jungle, or if people come in and take your jungle all the time. Like, you're gonna be a lower level. But, you know, it's kind of like unforced low level. Oh, it is a Senna top? Oh, I forgot that. Oh, my bad. That was the Ash. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, as Semi said earlier, this is just a normal game, I think. Cinder Hulk. Wait, what do you buy in second? I would get Spirit Massage second. Either Spirit Massage or Warmogs, pretty much always on Zac. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good, Sammy. I mean, biggest, easiest thing to fix is just farm. Just farm everything. You know, like I said, look for ganks, but only when the farm is down on that side of the map. Most of the time. Like I said, unless you see a really good opportunity, but you have to have like a reason to not farm, you know, it can't be the default. Like for example, if you see that their jungler is gonna gank your bot lane and you're about to go do Raptors, and you see on a ward that your jungler, or that their jungler is about to gank bot lane, you can redirect and go down there to counter gank because you have the information, and you can say, you know what, I think we can win that fight. This looks like a good call, you know. Nice. Keep cranking. But in general, you know, like I said, the default should be to farm. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're going like Dead Man's Plate or yeah, just farm. I wouldn't go Dead Man's onside. I mean, it does help you with your movement, but like he's already pretty fast at moving around with his E, which I assume you're maxing, right? Wait, no, you max W? Oh, you max E for sure. You always want to max your E. Like, it extends the range, it increases the damage, and it lowers the cooldown. So I think you max E, and then you max Q second, I believe, and then W's like always last. Because it really doesn't, like, the power of it doesn't go up like that much. A little bit, I guess, but you really want to max your E. Yeah, I would just go back bottom. That's where the dragon is. That's the next objective. Like, I don't think you're going to kill either one of them. I mean, maybe Lux. Okay. You got him with Lux. So, a major thing with this one is, like, you're getting paid off on some suboptimal decisions a lot. And so that can be very difficult to figure out, like, you know, because you know, when you get rewarded like that, when they do get a kill on the blitz, you might be thinking, and your team gets the soul anyways, you know, you might be thinking, well, that was a good play because I got the kill, right? Like, kind of hindsight bias. But you really should have been down there with your team to help with that dragon. And this is like one of the tricky things when you're really ahead in a game is you can get away with a lot of stuff. But when the games are a lot closer and, you know, a lot tougher, some of these decisions can come back to bite you. Good tower. Okay, nice. Mustafa going off. They've seen enough. What did you end up getting? Okay. So, that could either be Dead Man's. Okay, it's not Randuin's, because Randuin's has Warden's Mail in it. I think it's probably Dead Man's. I just wouldn't do that on the Zac, because you should be able to zip around the map enough that I would do Spirit Visage almost always. If they have any magic damage on their team, you want Spirit Visage. Now, they didn't have a lot, but that item's just so good on Zac. You know, obviously the extra healing is massive on him, the 30% extra healing. And then the magic resist, the CDR, the flat health. It's just really probably the best item in the game on Zac, outside of maybe Cinderhulk. But then you can also do Warmog second if they have like all AD, because you get extra benefit out of Cinderhulk. You get 25% extra HP off of that, and that does help keep you topped off and healed up. But yeah, so the biggest thing that I could say is you just want to think about where are you going, and just like walk your way there, and every time you walk past a camp, clear it. So if you're just saying, like, after your first, sort of when you cleared, like you went, now it's a little different in the early game because certain camps are way more important on your first clear. So I think you're right to go red up to blue. But then while you're clearing blue, I'm not sure if you can do that at like level 2, but later on, at later levels, you can clear the blue and the Gromp at the same time if you stand in the middle and you just constantly spam your W and pull them together with your Q. You can clear them both at the same time. That might be super risky on the first run. I'm not 100% about that. But you want to do red either way. Red, blue, probably Gromp, and then Scuttle, and then look for a gank top. And if you get her flash, then you've got 5 minutes. So then you can back after that, after you get her flash, come down here, and then do like golems, raptors, and look for a gank bottom. I think you actually did red golems, then blue. If you do that, then you would want to go scuttle into gank, and then after the gank fails, you probably just come back and go for like Gromp wolves. But yeah, in general, just think about it that way, and just think, okay, flash is down top, so the next time those creeps spawn top, you know, in like 2 minutes, then I'm gonna go back, clear them again, and go for another gank up there. But overall, like, good engages. You did hit a lot of your E's. You did force a lot of flashes. You were around a lot of the action. You know, you were in most fights that were important. So that was really good. You did have really high presence in a lot of big fights. So that was really solid. It's just working on that farming, making sure you get that up, and then maybe the itemization, going for either Spirit Visage or Warmogs early would probably be pretty solid. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much. Special thanks to Sammy for donating for it. Anyone else that would like a coaching session out there, if you're watching this, you can email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind, or just come by, talk with me on the stream. Starts around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time most nights. Usually goes till about 2:30 a.m. most nights. We're obviously going a bit late tonight. And we can do a replay coaching like this, which is what I prefer because you have full control over the session. Or you can do a live session. Dylan, another donor on the channel, donated for some live sessions tonight, and that actually worked out pretty well using Discord with screen capture. Then you get kind of the live back and forth kind of conversation of it in the middle of the action, but then my information is limited. I can't see everything. I can't like rewind, and you just don't know what kind of game you're going to get. You know, you could just have a bunch of trolls on your team and your team goes like 2-20 and FFs at 15 or something. So, but it just depends on what you want, whether you want that conversational or whether you want better sort of better control over the type of game that you're sending. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.